every single day. Not only that, but even if you do get to the national or even global level stuff, there is usually a local impact to that. And that's where we go in and say, all right, this is how this is going to actually affect you here at the ground level.
Local sports is so important for our community. The stories that we can tell, showing people that sports is more than just something you bet on. No, sports is so much more than X's and O's. It's the relationships, it's mental health, it's building a community, giving people family or something to cheer for. That's what sports are. It creates family where there might not be family, and those are the kind of stories that I love telling.
We are taking a look now at the southwestern skies at 8:14. We are talking about a big topic this morning. Gun violence and the causes that violence are frequently top of mind here in Indianapolis. Last night, leaders of the Black church, can we please flip the prompter? Can we please flip the prompter? Thank you. Sorry about that at home. Last night, leaders of the Black Church Coalition got together to again call on city and state officials to make safety a priority, but also to address the root causes of crime such as poverty. Now, joining us here in Daybreak this morning is Lynette Boom. She is a committee leader with the Black Church Coalition. We also have co-chair Reverend Daryl Brooks here. Lynette, Reverend Brooks, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. We appreciate you waking up with us. Let's talk about something important. You both are coming off of a very big night. You had a summit. And of course, a lot of things were discussed at that summit. So can we first just get into what that summit is for those that may not understand, and then just touch on some of the key points, if you don't mind.
Yes, well, the summit was overall just discussing our demands that we have for political changes within our community. Demands included also our clinician-led crisis team, our gun violence reduction program, as well as discussing a revenue bill which will also work with targeting or going towards our wealthy elites in regards to just leveling the playing fields and paying taxes. Because currently we do have an observation where our wealthy elites are paying less income taxes than you and I. So with that, that will also address with alleviating poverty, which we know is a policy change. And we also want to just make sure that we can actually resolve and dismiss poverty so that we can all just have a leveling playing field amongst one another.
Now, of course, we had a lot go on yesterday.
Yeah.
One of the big things that you all were talking about was safe and healthy communities. Tell us about some of the things that were occurring during that, if you don't mind.
One thing that stood out was just the reactions that we were receiving from people. Just knowing that a lot of people aren't aware of the current things that are going on in our political arenas. It just was a touchback for them just to go through their experiences. One other key thing was our testimonies, where we talked about substance abuse, where we talked about, just being a teen in a mall and being targeted by the police. Those things was just resonating with our crowd, and they were getting a lot of emotions.
Now, your organization is seeking investment in public safety interventions. Why is this good for the coalition? And tell us about what those interventions will do.
Well, it's good for the coalition because, first of all, let me say thank you for having us this morning. And it was an honor to moderate last night's summit. These interventions are important because it helps us to realize a safe and healthy Indianapolis. These interventions we've held meetings with city leaders. We had research actions. And so these demands aren't just from off the fly. We had organized meetings to discuss with the community and community leaders together. And we were able to come up with what would be most beneficial for our communities. And this is what we came up with the community.
Now, here is the thing. There's a lot more than what you discussed about things that would be beneficial that can be done. So what are some of those things that can be done outside of the interventions?
Well, we can get involved. Our churches can get involved with this fight. And that's what we're asking. We had an appeal last night. We asked the community to come alongside us, and we asked the community leaders to even join us in this fight.
Now, speaking of community leaders, you sent in a statement, and one of our community leaders is in the hot seat this morning. Now, let's take a look at that statement. We'll pull that up for you right now.
Okay.
We are disappointed that despite the mayor's commitment before November's election to engage us on these demands, he did not attend the action. You've got the platform right now, so let's talk about it. You know, obviously you're disappointed about Mayor Hogsett not attending. What would you like to do to engage him in attending, or just taking what your expectations are to his office?
Well, yeah, thank you for asking that question. We create tension. Nothing beneficial has ever come about without that type of uncomfortable feeling and tension. And so this is important enough for us to speak truth to power, to go to the top office, right? And we don't want to do this without these city leaders, but we will. And so we give them the opportunity to partner with us, to work with us in co-government. And so we extended this invitation to the mayor some time ago, and he committed. And at some point, he decided he was not going to come.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Reverend Brooks Lynette. I can't thank you enough for talking about this important topic this morning. We're going to have all the information you need on this interview on our website, wishtv.com. But for now, we have been following some breaking news in the traffic center. Let's toss it on over to Marcus Bailey for an update.
All right.